Yes, Oversight Committee to order. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. And we'll start, Kaylin, if you want to talk about public participation, please.
City of Monterey is committed to the safe attendance of its public meetings. Masks are recommended regardless of vaccination status, except those who are younger than 2 years old or have a medical condition that prevents wearing a mask. We ask that attendees in council chambers keep phones and devices muted to prevent audio interference and feedback with this hybrid meeting. Information on participating in this meeting and providing public comment, including remotely by Zoom, is available on the meeting agenda online at isearchmonterey.org. Remote commenters will be muted until it is your turn to speak, and a timer will be shown on the screen. If you're connected on Zoom, the time is accurate with no delay. Thank you. Now we will proceed with roll call. Patrick Aldinger.
I'm here.
Justin Chang.
Here.
Carol Trebajian.
Here.
Rick Hoyer.
Thank you very much. We'll start with the consent agenda, which consists of approval of our minutes from the April 21st meeting. Unless there are any questions or concerns, I'd be looking for a motion to approve those, please.
So moved. Second.
Thanks, folks. Any discussion? Any public comment? Can we do a roll call vote, please? Do we need to do that today? Can we just say an aye or a nay today with just the three of us?
Sure.
Probably should do a roll call vote.
Okay. Carol is suggesting she will only be happy if we can do a roll call vote. So let's go ahead with that,
You
please.
mean?
Okay. Patrick Aldinger.
Yes.
Justin Chang.
Yes.
Carol Trebajian.
Yes.
That motion passes
overwhelming.
unanimously.
Yeah, right.
Thank you. All right. That takes us to general public comments. This is for any member of the public to speak on any issue relating to the Measure PNS Oversight Committee that is not on today's agenda. Do we have any such public comment? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to our next agenda item, review unaudited expenditures from July 1st, 2024 through June 15th, 2025. Who do we have doing that for us today?
Hi, I am Wendy Davies from the Finance Department.
Thank you.
For the unaudited July through June 15th revenues of 9.1 million and interest of 589,000, bringing the total for the year of 9.7 million. Expenditures of 8,560,000 with a total revenues of 1.165 million. And we will also be accruing back any FY24 expenses through July and August. Will also be added into FY24 when the books are done.
So that's not complete yet.
No.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
If we look below at the year over year, this year, we have our 9.7 million compared to FY24. There's a net change of $49,000 and with expenses of 8.5 million. The net change between last year is a little over 3 million, which that too would be the accrual and expenses that are going to happen yet in 2024.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And on that, let's see, I think this is where we want to take a look at the itemized description of work done, payments made rather. And start with members of the committee. Any questions on any of the itemized expenditures?
If I could start, I have just on the note on the first page, ADA curb ramps for conference center contract. What are these notes meaning? Is this stuff that is included or should not be included? Because ADA curb ramps for the conference center contract should be the conference center and not Measure S, should it not? As well as we've had the tunnel discussion before.
Right.
And the pump station, I think is okay, I think, because of storm drains.
Yeah, and again,
But specifically, I'm interested in the ADA curb ramps for the conference center and the tunnel maintenance and repair. Again, we've had those questions before about the tunnel.
yeah, and and I think where we landed on the tunnel is that there would be, maintenance or repairs or capital
street.
expenditure of the tunnel itself versus the street
Right,
going through the
right.
tunnel.
Yeah.
And so we would assume in this case that these are expenditures on the street going through the tunnel. Is that correct? There shouldn't have been any tunnel expenditures. I don't know if I saw any in the
No, I didn't. That's why
And the-
I'm asking that.
the
But the note,
expenditure.
yeah, the notes. And again, specifically like the conference center is not a Monterey street.
Right. So these resos should probably be attached next time, just because I know they keep reoccurring. There shouldn't have been any expenditures this last period for the tunnel. Possibly the conference center. There's truncated domes, the tactile domes around the turnaround area. And so those were repaired recently, but I think these resos are referring to an earlier item of work.
But at the conference center, that should actually, should not repairs with the conference center come from CCFD and not from
PNS.
PNS?
So I think the turnaround area, that's a city of Monterey right of way. I believe so. I'm going off memory, but those truncated domes where people, load and unload, they started to get loose and wobble.
Yeah.
And so we had to repair them to secure them and fasten them down. So that was a recent item of work. I suspect these resos are pointing further back.
Okay.
They probably should be included as an attachment in the next report because they keep.
Yeah, if we can see, yeah, if we can get it as an attachment. But so a right of way is then considered a city street. I know you own it.
Yes.
Okay.
So a right of way is essentially an easement for the free movement of people and vehicles.
Okay.
So our right of way lines and parcel boundaries aren't always crystal clear in the city, but that is city property essentially.
But, and again, I don't know the answer to the question, but when the conference center was renovated and that driveway, whatever you want to call the right of way area was renoed, city did spend, I think, $1 million on doing that reno. And I think the rest of it came out of CCFD. But I think that was the only, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
the city did spend some money on like $1 million on that at the time.
It precedes my time with the city. I could probably do some research and get some numbers to you, but sorry, CFD.
Conference Center Funding District,
Oh,
CCFD.
yeah. I'd have to do some research. I don't know off the top of my head.
We know something about it. It's a hospitality thing.
The tunnel, we haven't had any work in the tunnel with Measure PS funds recently. I think this note is just a carryover from an earlier
That's what
report.
it looks like.
Okay.
But did I have that right that there is a difference, a delineation between the tunnel itself and the street going through the tunnel as far as Measure PNS funds?
I'd have to do some research.
Okay.
Um,
Because that was the discussion that we have had historically, and that's the outcome I remember. And so, yeah, if we can get confirmation on that, that would be helpful just to be sure.
okay.
All right. Justin, anything? So maybe we've talked about this before. I had just a couple things here, and it's a sort of a generalized comment on some of the expenditures. Under storm drains, we have marina parking lot. My pet peeve was the marina parking lot. But this is the storm drain portion of that. And so that seems fine and consistent. And I see there's money spent on Via Esperanza storm. Can we get an update on that project? It just Out of curiosity,
Sure.
what's happening on Via Esperanza?
We've been stuck in permitting land.
Uh-huh.
So the Water Board and Army Corps have both taken jurisdiction of that project. We submitted a pre-filing application a few months ago, and we're essentially told, no, no chance that we're going to approve something like this. Go back to the drawing board, try again. When asked what we should be doing differently, they essentially said, well, we're not engineers, you go figure it out. So we've redesigned our concept. We think we have something that might be a little bit more palatable to the water board. We just filed for another pre-file application. Hopefully we'll have a path forward with this design concept, but we've been stuck trying to obtain permits just to do the repair work.
Okay.
That's
So
essentially where we are.
stay tuned.
So they're not engineers yet. They can say no.
Oh, yeah.
They don't know,
You come
but
up-
they do know.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I just okay.
My favorite response from permitting agencies is,
No,
we won't tell you how to do it, but we'll tell you we're not going to
well,
approve
we
it.
can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not allowed. However, we have no idea what to do.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Okay, I'm sorry, I need to go back to the marina parking lot because there was also an expenditure under pavement that it lists marina parking lot improvement, I'm assuming is the abbreviation there. And again, I want to make sure that we're not spending money on the parking lot itself, that there's that transference there that I guess we're calling a city street that runs between the parking lot and the brewery. And, I think we've,
Beaten that
acknowledged,
horse.
we accept that. But this says parking lot improvement. So I just have to check, is that the parking lot or the street?
Sure. So the overall project name was Marina Parking Lot Project. So that included portions of street and public right of way. So that title's for the comprehensive project, but there were eligible expenditures on city streets and city right of way.
Okay. All right. And I think finally here, again, this is my generalized comment there. And maybe we've talked about this before. We have citywide road rehab, citywide road surface, Measure S curb ramp with no locations. And so, and I asked the committee too for feedback on this, whether we are asking for a little bit more specification, a location on some of that stuff, instead of just saying it happened somewhere, we spent money on roads somewhere.
Sure. So unfortunately, that's just how the citywide projects are titled in our naming system. So you do have to cross-reference it with this sheet. Which
Okay.
has the full list of citywide projects, and that has all the different street segments in there. So unfortunately, you do kind of have to do a little matching to say,
Okay.
okay, this expenditure occurred on RSR project phase 4, and then you'd have to go to here and
Right
match
there.
the
Okay.
RSR
Okay.
project phase.
All right. Well, at least there's a path. Very good. Under ADA, there was citywide signalized enter. This is from May 8th, ASG Builders. And I'm just, that was $273,000. I'm just not sure what that means.
Sure.
What is that?
That's a citywide ADA intersection improvement.
Okay.
Those two intersections that ASG is working on are Franklin. So Franklin at Washington and Franklin at, going off memory, what's the adjacent intersection? Tyler, thank you.
Okay. Okay. That's all I had. Anything else from the committee? And let's see, any public comment on this agenda item? Okay, seeing none, for a motion to accept the, where am I here? The review of the unaudited expenditures from July 1st, 2024 through June 15th, 2025, please.
So moved.
Second.
You have
Excuse me.
a motion and a second, any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Patrick Aldinger,
Yes.
Justin Chang,
Yes.
Carol Trebajian.
Yes.
That motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Item 3, review unaudited periodic report from July 1st, 24 through June 15th, 2025. Back to Wendy.
I'll cover it in my first section.
Mhm.
So the expenditures, for the first and the revenues were the 9.1 million in tax revenues, interest of 589,000. And I'm sorry. So this would also show our year-over-year revenues and expenses with our comparisons in the 2024. Showing we have $49,783 in revenues and in 2024, we had $11.6 million in expenses. And so far this year, we've had $8.5 million in expenses, bringing a $3 million difference from prior year.
Okay, thank you. And before I ask for a motion on this one, on this report, I just want to make note of one of the statements on the second page, just below the table. Committee has determined that to date, the city has managed P&S projects and funds in compliance with the measures approved by the voters. So in this report, we're acknowledging that as well. And unless there are any questions or comments, looking for a motion on this one.
So moved.
Second.
All right, a motion and a second. Any discussion? Public comment? Roll call vote, please.
Patrick Aldinger,
Yes,
Justin Chang,
Yes.
Carol Tribajian.
Yes.
passes unanimously. Thank you. Item 4, review of the street rehabilitation and reconstruction reports for 2025. Is that back to you, Wendy, or?
That'll be me, Max Reeser, senior engineer. The pavement condition you've received, the database put out for last maintenance treatment, current PCIs, as well as upcoming Measure P and paving projects. General update, we completed or substantially completed the citywide road resurfacing project that included David, Garden, Ocean, Forest Ridge, amongst other streets. That kicked our PCI back up to an 81 for the network. That project has a couple punch list items that should be completed this week, and then that'll be completed. So that is all reflected in the database table. Another active project is the road rehab phase 5. That's the work on Hawthorne. We had a utility delay with Callium, but that one got back in motion. The curb ramp was completed. Yes.
Mess over there.
That was a try again with,
And then it's
with
like
Callium.
streets are open, streets are closed, streets are open, streets are closed.
Yeah, there were also 2 water main breaks in that area during that project. So it was just kind of a scene over there. But the concrete work's completed. They're working to schedule their subcontractor to come in and complete the paving. Optimistic that'll be done before car week or after car week anytime, but during car week, come in and resurface that road and complete that project. As upcoming projects, we have the Wave Street ADA and road rehab. That's basically, it's from Irving down to the Rec Trail crossing. We have the North Fremont at city limit. You'll notice out by Seaside that they had a pavement project come in and make it nice and pretty and stop to right at city limit line. Ours is
Yeah.
It needs some rehabilitation. That's a full depth reclamation. That's a pretty heavy treatment. But that's coming up. We're gonna bid
Not
that.
scheduled yet, but
We're gonna bid that soon.
Oh.
So it'd be probably 3 months out or so.
Yeah, that's an interesting, the way it looks. It's just
Yeah.
on this side and on this side of the light. It's like,
Would have been a good opportunity for partnership and communication. So yeah, we're trailing them on that one, but we're going to get out there this year.
and just in a quick question, this speaking partnership, the David, was that Monterey and PG?
Yes. So
So it-
David, we stop just a little bit above Divisadero. And yeah, the timing worked out really well. Well, we did our resurfacing project. They're going to come down to city limit with their they have road rehabilitation. They're doing some sewer work and stuff like that too. So
I thought
That one was,
that was interesting that I thought usually that doesn't happen either, but
yeah, no, so that one worked out well,
Okay.
yeah. And then another project in the queue, that'll be bid in the next couple months is the, Cass and El Dorado, ADA and road rehab. And then for our next meeting, we're hoping we'll have, forecasted like citywide resurfacing streets selected again. So any questions on the database or active or upcoming projects?
I don't know whether it's appropriate at this time. Aguajito.
Hmm.
What part of Aguajito is the city of Monterey? Because if it goes back up all the way around to the freeway,
Yeah.
that's not city of Monterey, is it? That's Carmel?
I'd have to
Technically?
look at the maps. That's something I don't know off the top of my head. Yes, there's certain segments of it that are ours and not ours, including like the Caltrans right away, like that intersection isn't partially ours.
It's bad.
Yeah, we have a couple like county roads. What's the other one we've been talking with the county about? Mulholland,
Is Mulholland city of Monterey or county?
both.
Because that's awful. And I only
A
say,
little unclear on like our records don't perfectly match their records. Like our GIS and theirs aren't in sync. But yeah, that's something we can put together some maps to exhibit.
I like, because it's part of my, when I now have to as quickly as I can get back to Ryan Ranch from the valley at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm cutting
Yeah.
through Aguajito and it's horrifying up there. And Mulholland is too.
Yeah.
Going, I mean, it'll rattle the teeth out of your head. And even I think down by where Mulholland is on Aguajito, that is city of Monterey, and it's just bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both the city and the county maintain GIS databases that are publicly available. So if you don't want to wait till the next meeting, you can hop on our website or the county's website, and there's a city boundary layer that can be uploaded. So you can see exactly where the boundary is supposed to be.
Okay, thank you. Because there is when you come down, there is work being done by somebody, because it says there's a detour sign and as you're coming down Aguajito, and I can't remember what the street is, but there is a detour sign. So somebody's working on something up there.
Yeah, we don't know exactly who. We got a call, someone complaining to us about it, but it's not city work. We don't know if it's a utility or the county.
Well, and I never have gone through there where it looks like any work is being done. So maybe they just left the signs up from something.
Not ours.
Okay. But that could be an opportunity. I know we have other priorities right in the city,
You know,
but it is nasty up in
well,
there.
and one of the problems is the cost efficient. So we have our Street Saver database, so we run
Right.
budget scenarios that has a cost efficiency weighting. And when a street's so far gone, it says we're better off spending money trying to catch streets before they're that bad. So it
Right. Yeah, yeah.
defers a lot. So once they're that bad, they say
Rehab before rebuild, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right, thanks. So the PCI of 81, and that's as of what date?
Last week.
Okay,
15th.
great.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask if you concurred with that number, and I think we got your
Well, there was,
thoughts on that?
because there was, if you see the one, there is where it says 1% at Aguajito and Mulholland. And I'm like, I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm lucky I have shocks left in my car anymore that going through there. It's just awful.
Justin, do you have anything?
I'd say the streets look good right now.
All right, thanks. At that juncture, then I would be looking for a motion to accept the report as presented.
So moved.
Second,
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Public comment?
Yeah.
Monique Caldy, resident of the city of Monterey. I don't have the meeting packet in front of me, so I apologize, but I think on that mixed jurisdiction list, if we could get Jocelyn Canyon in there, that would be fantastic. The potholes have gotten horrible. And where you're coming around the blind curve coming from Mark Thomas onto Jocelyn Canyon, there's a big pothole that you hit and I could just see a car coming around that corner, getting jostled and hitting head on. So I think that there is a serious safety concern tip to tip. So from Mark Thomas all the way to 68, if we could get that looked at, I think the residents of that area would really appreciate it.
You have that and then speed bumps to add to that too, right?
We have 2 speed humps in there and they're pretty good. But it's really the potholes that have gotten bad. And there's also lines where it looks like maybe and I'm no engineer, but perhaps there's an underground water or there is a pipe or something because it's a straight line running across the street that has become a dip. But it's just gotten really bad over the last 2 years.
And I see that the PCI at Sylvan and Mark Thomas is 30.
Okay.
And so it's down there. Not the worst one in the city,
Right.
but it's down there. And do we have any predictions on that at all?
That's something we'll have to take a closer look at.
Yeah, so it is
Yeah.
Jocelyn Canyon specifically.
Yep.
And I know it's mixed and it's confusing, but it's becoming a dangerous situation from one end to the other. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I volunteer drive through there too, and yes, I agree. And Deer Flats, there's stuff up in there as well.
Thanks. Thank you very much. Any online public comment? All right, roll call vote, please.
Patrick Aldinger,
Yes.
Justin Chang,
Yes.
Carol Trebajian.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Thank you. Item 5, sales tax updates for quarters 3 and 4. Is that back to you, Wendy? All right. Thank you.
Quarter 3 is July through September of 2024. The sales tax is 4.2 below the third sales period in 2023. We did have some increases in casual dining and hotel and motel and fine dining, but then some decreases in family apparel and service stations for fuel charges. And then if we look at quarter 4, October through December of 2024, it was 9.1% above the fourth sales period in 2023. The conference center had an increase in conferences in the past year. We also had hotels, were up 9% in this quarter. And leisure and entertainment was up 10%, and fine dining was up 15%. Measure G was boosted by local purchases and more online merchandise and an increase in new motor vehicles. And there also positive change in hotels, leisure and entertainment, electronics purchases, and quick service restaurants.
Okay. Carol, do you have any comments?
But I think it's important when you have 2 things, which is again why the group business is important to the city, that you'll see that not only you've got the tax revenue up at the conference center with the rentals and food and beverage in the conference center, but fine dining when you have conferences here that are being hosted like that last week. They had wonderful pistachios that bought out the sardine factory one night. That's a nice chunk of sales tax for the city. So again, I don't want to push on that, but I think that's why group business is so important to us in the city.
Any other questions or comments, Justin?
Just a brief question on the Measure S revenue that comes in. Are we showing quarter over quarter the increase of 0.2%, for example, on the Q4? Does that mean it's a Q over Q, or is that a year over year? I assume so, but I just want to double check.
Sure.
Okay. No problem.
Okay, unless there's any other questions or comments, are you looking for a motion to accept the sales tax updates for quarters 3 and 4.
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Public comment? Roll call vote, please.
Patrick Aldinger,
Yes.
Justin Chang.
Yes.
Carol Tribajian.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Thank you very much. That completes the itemized agenda for today. I know we have some staff comments, possible informational reports at this time, please.
At this time, I would like to announce that Payam Ostavar stepped down from the committee via email on the 26th of April, 2025.
All right. Questions, comments, anything? Any other reports or staff comments?
Oh, I do actually have a comment, if I could.
Well, we're on committee member comments.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
No worries.
I did, and I mentioned it to city council at a city council meeting, and I think I mentioned it to you that that it is important that we look toward renewing or doing something for the replacement of Measure S, which would have to go on the ballot next year. I have offered, and the mayor came to me and said he wanted to talk more about it. I've tried to get in touch with him and I have not been successful, but to take them, if you think it would help, on a tour to see some of this segments that they need to see and the reason why it needs to be renewed as it is. And I said, that someone had said to me that the streets, as we know, are like the Golden Gate Bridge. You know, you finish it and now you got to start over again. And I go back to, and it's not bad, but my street was slurry sealed in the beginning in 2015. Lifespan of slurry seal has passed and is not falling apart, but it needs to be taken care of. So I don't know. They were thinking, I know one of the councilman persons said, well, maybe we're thinking we could give a portion of it and then we'll use some of it for something else. And I'm like, I think it all needs to go to whatever measure it becomes. And it needs to be, but I think it's important if we can do it and we can be Brown Act compliant too, as long as we invite the public to come on the tour. And I said, I'm happy to provide a vehicle or vehicles to do that. But I think they need to see some of what is going on on Jocelyn Canyon, on Aguajito, on some of this. And I mean, there are plenty of street segments that still need, as you know, that need work. So I don't know. We can, maybe Rick and I can continue to try. I'd like to, if you're up for that, I'd like to do that, to show them why we need to be proactive and look at renewing something.
Yeah, and I'd just add to that, it was originally estimated through the work of the ad hoc committee and the city staff that the Measure P, that it would require about 10 years to raise the PCI from 54 to 80. And we just got a report that we're at 81. So, from that perspective, we did accomplish that goal. We're right at the 10-year mark. So that was pretty accurate. However, we, to Carol's point and to Monique's point, that there are still city streets that are in serious disrepair, along with the maintenance required to prevent the treatments that we've done from deteriorating beyond their useful life as well. So, you're certainly, your point is well taken.
If we, if we look at it, not till after car week, but if we can look at something with them, because again, it's going to have to be, we're going to have to get, for the next measure, a group together, decide on what we want to do. And it would have to be, it has to be on the ballot by, or the measure would have to be done by August, first week in August, isn't it? In
9th or 10th, something like that.
26 to go on the ballot. But again, that's coming up in our business. That's coming up tomorrow. So if we wait and drag our feet, I think it needs to be somewhere, we need to take them on the worst street segments to show them that it's like, oh, you lost a tooth there because it kind of got rattled out of your head. So that we can let them know, because I think some of the other projects, as we know, there are many projects in the city that need to be police department, the fire stations and stuff. There are a lot. Wharf 2. But again, I've said, and I said this to the mayor, that taking a couple $1 million off of this, whatever the new measure would be, and putting that into something that requires hundreds of millions of dollars is like spitting in the ocean. So I agree that we need to do something there, but I don't think that taking away from because we haven't been able to finish it, taking away from what we've got now is not going to help us get where we need to be. So.
All right, maybe you and I can try to set that up.
Okay.
And certainly any staff that would like to be part of that would be wonderful.
I said, yeah, my volunteering job, I get to see some bad street segments now.
All right, any other committee member comments? Justin?
Just a brief comment in a similar vein. I want to thank Monique and also members of the public for coming forth and letting us know about some of the streets that are less traversed. We see a lot of the downtown, we see a lot of Cannery Row, but we don't necessarily see those back roads. So thank you very much.
Yeah, we all drive where we normally drive, and so it's very helpful. All right. And unless there's anything else, we have concluded our business today, and we can adjourn at 10:36.